Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have a new video today. This will be hopefully a lot shorter than the last one. It doesn't involve any electric motors. It doesn't involve power cords or bearings. It's how I'm going to fix my stepladder. Now mind you, I probably should throw the ladder out. It is about 30 years old, and you know, there's a thing about safety, and I've been kicking it around for a couple of weeks. Do I try to repair it or do I toss it? And I think I'm going to try to repair it, mostly to see if I can repair it so that I feel safe on it. You know, when you're a do-it-yourselfer, machining stuff, woodworking, whatever, welding, you try to challenge yourself, and I think that's what I'm doing here. Certainly the amount of time I'm going to put into this ladder, I could probably go buy another one that's much better. The ladder is wood. It's probably 30 years old, maybe more, possibly less, but I doubt it. And you know, wood shrinks, it cracks. I've already tightened up the steps a couple of times. But now the hinges, well, yeah, the hinge, I guess you might say, is getting a little tough. So here it is, and I'll see if I can get it in close. But right here, this point here is really shot. And the three inside, and maybe I can turn it around. The three that hold the main leg are still, they're a little loose, and I may take those and try to peen those over a little. But this one on top, I'm going to drill it out. I'm going to see if I need to make a bearing for it, or a bushing I should say, some sort of insert. Maybe put a metal cap on it, which might be the easiest thing to do. That will keep it from splitting, and it gives me a piece of metal that I can drill a hole in that's exact. So I think that's where we're headed. So hang on to your hat, I guess you'd say. Now this is how I'm doing it, probably how it shouldn't be done. So the first thing I'm going to try is to take these three and tighten them up a little. And then I might actually put another couple of holes in it and a nut and bolt and get these nice and tight. Well, I made it a lot tighter, but I think for good measure I'm going to put some nuts and bolts in it. Quarter-inch hole. Fender washer. nut. Nut that doesn't want to go on. Broken bolt. Much better. Could use a lock nut on them. It's not that it's very prone to vibration or anything, so I'm probably not going to waste my time. I noticed the steps need tightening again, as do the cross braces. The cross braces on the back side can probably use a screw in from the side. They're all a little loose. What I'm trying to do, since the grain of the wood is this way, the two new holes I'm trying not to get in the same grain as the rivets that are there. Probably should be using safety glasses. I'm probably going to cut these off after I get them in. There's one. Time to swap batteries, I think. Yep. That's the problem about using used hardware. Sometimes it doesn't work out. All right, there's the main legs, the fixed legs. Okay, that's part one. Now to drill these out, although I may grind the heads off, since I got the grinder right here. See if I can get it with the cutoff wheel. The problem I have is this metal is recessed. I'm trying to see if I can get down far enough Boy, it's pretty close. Hate to beat on it more because I'm only going to bend it more. Ugh. Piece of cake. That looks pretty good. Well, maybe I should go after this one on the back side. Yeah, much better. All right, so while the holes are less than 1/4 inch, so I'm probably going to go out to 1/4 inch, and this end actually has a rivet through it right here to keep it from spreading. So my concerns about spreading are probably ill-founded. But what I think I might do is actually put a bracket on the inside, an angle bracket, drill this hole through so that the other side has support so it doesn't try to twist as much. So let's see what happens there. Well, that's pretty close to 1/4. That wasn't far off. Well, that'll certainly make it tighter. Motion, that's the motion I'm trying to stop, I think. I'm just putting this on to hold it in place. I know I can't use a nut there. I don't want to get it snug like that. So then I can work on the other piece to go in there. Now you see this one, even with the rivet there, oh, the rivet's loose. This rivet through here is loose. I think I gotta get a better angle on that. Throw something in there for a spacer. Yeah, that's better. But I wonder if I shouldn't put another screw through there. Certainly not 1/4 inch. Maybe a number 8. Alright, now let's see if I can get through this and be square. Ha, ha. I think that was almost perfect. Because I just caught the corner of this hole, which is pretty much what I was hoping. To get it as far away as I can from the end. Although I wasn't terribly level, I'm a little on the outside here. There, I feel pretty good about that one now. I can't show it on camera, but this hole here, you can actually see where this has been sliding back and forth because it's elongated. It's a little this way, which is the way I would have thought it would have gone. I'm going to stop there for a minute while I decide what to do about these brackets. When I get done making them or deciding what I'm doing, I'll come back. I found a scrap piece of aluminum angle iron, probably 3 feet long. Cut a couple of chunks, made them so that they fit front to back across this whole top. That'll help sturdy up the top a little too. Had I thought about it, I would have made them a little longer and made them come through these 2 screw holes. But I didn't. So what I have is what I have. The principal goal is to get this tight. And the one problem I see is that's off at an angle. But I don't think it's going to matter too much. It certainly won't hurt what I'm doing. So I already got the hole for this here. I put 3/4 inch holes here. Made the cutout to miss the nuts and bolts that I put in to stabilize that leg. So now I'm going to pull this nut off of here. And I think what I will do, because that's at an angle, I'm going to put a couple fender washers and then a couple smaller washers. Well, maybe less than that. I want to get past this edge here. So maybe 1 fender and 1 small. It's not much of an angle. Yeah, maybe only 1 small. Well, no, I think I'll leave that. And this one I'm going to double nut. I don't want this to loosen up. Now I'm going to clamp this down because that's at the same angle as the leg is. We don't want that. We want this to be down flat. Even if it means I bend my bolt just a little. Here. Just got to use a 1/4 a shorter drill bit. That's a long 1/4 inch. Well, I have a 64th over. Yeah, it's still too long. I have to get rid of the semi-professional one and go with one of the homeowner ones. Well, that's 2 of them. I'm looking to see if I have any pan heads, but they're not going to be long enough. Probably what I should have done is drilled and tapped the aluminum. Or just put a regular screw in. For what I'm doing here, the top doesn't have to be perfectly flat. It's not perfectly flat now because of the brace on the side. So we will just and we'll crank that right into the wood if we can. Well, it's not cranking into the wood very much, but it sure is getting tight. Well, maybe I'm not going to use that center hole that I made. All right. Well, let's see how that does. Well, I'm back again. I just edited the first part of this up until this point, and I realized a couple of mistakes. Number one is a mechanical mistake. If I can get down here. So I put these 2 screws in here, and I realized that having threads against the wood is probably not a good idea. So I may take this out again and use a piece of, oh, I don't know, probably steel tubing to sleeve the threads so that inside the width of the wood is smooth so it doesn't chew it up as it turns. And I had said, and I really don't remember, now I have to make the second one of these brackets here for this side, and I'm not going to show you that. But what I realized was this still is a little wobbly. Now, it does have braces in it, but they're loose, they're riveted in. And each of these cross braces are also loose. So what I think I'm going to do, and I'll do it down further, is to probably put some sort of brace across, a Z-brace. I was thinking of cable or threaded rod. I haven't decided which. I'm trying to not make it so there's something hard on the outside that you can grab your leg with, and not dig into the wood too much. So I haven't decided. I may just use a piece of wood from here to here, put some good screws in it, put some really good glue on it. So that's the point I'm at. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to stop this right now and take these apart again. Oh, and I'm too high again. Take the top two apart. These screws up here that I have. And I do have to do a better job still of not showing you my back and my shoulder when I'm drilling and stuff. I noticed I was doing that. So we'll see if the second half runs better. How about rummaging? I tried to use some tubing. It was too big. I found these barbed hose fittings. And it turns out that the inside is really a great match for 1/4 inch bolts. So I have two of them. I'm going to cut them off. Drill the sleeve, the hole out just a little more in the ladder, and press them in, I guess. This may seem a little disjointed, this part, but I finished making this other bracket, and as I was putting bolts in, which I had done with flathead, regular flathead screws, not panheads, but they used a screwdriver bit. When I went looking through my box, I realized I had carriage bolts. And carriage bolts fit a lot closer to the surface, and frankly, they're a lot closer to being made for it is what they should be. So I replaced this one with a carriage bolt. I put a new one in here. Now I've got to drill a hole in the bottom there and replace this one. So that's next on the list. Then I'm going to start on the racking of this back piece. Okay, we're pretty much jumping right to the end. The work that I did after the last chunk up here, I really didn't think it was worth photographing. As you can see, this is a lot tighter now. These bushings that I put in and tightened up with the extra piece on the inside made a big difference. But what I also did, and this is probably going to rupture eventually, but I put 3.5 inch strong tie exterior screws in right down through the center of the dowel, which made a big difference on this. That tightened this right up. And then for good measure, the last thing I did is each of these steps I tightened up, put an extra, in some cases a full turn, some cases 1/4 to 1/2 turn on all these. So they're tight. This ladder is not moving. So I'd say it was a success. If I had to charge for my labor, it probably cost the same as 3 ladders. But, you know, I saved it from the scrap bin. So that's it. Hope you liked it. As I said, it's a little different than all my mechanical stuff and the machines and so forth. This turned out so well that I have an 8-footer that's about in the same shape. And maybe in another 10 or 15 years I'll get to that one. So there you have it. I didn't tighten up these hinges. I suppose I could. I may do that afterwards. It's just the hammer and a couple of hammers. thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. If you did, say so. If you didn't, don't. Comments are always welcome. As I said, this is how I fixed my ladder. This probably should have been thrown out. I don't suggest you do it this way, if you do it at all. And thanks a lot for watching. Hope you like some of my other videos. I'm a newbie. I got about 15 of them out there. And you know, if you really like it, subscribe, and you'll get a notification that that I'm on the march. It's the middle of winter here in New England, so I may not get as much done outside. As you can see, I did this in my basement, my workshop here. So, thanks a lot, and we'll catch you on the next video.